What is going on, everyone? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you a video for week one, the Wildcard weekend, going over the 3-game Saturday slate. We'll have a video tomorrow for the Sunday slate. I was thinking about doing a combo video, but just really wasn't something I was interested in doing. Just figured I'd do 3 and 3. So today we have the Colts, Buffalo, Rams, Seahawks, Tampa Bay, Washington. Right off the bat, the Seattle, LA game just doesn't really interest me that much. It's the lowest total. It's got a 42-point total. Granted, there's still points to be scored, but I mean, just their history this season isn't really anything promising or anything that stands out as stuff we have to target. Tampa Bay, Washington has got a pretty good defensive set there too. Colts, Buffalo. Colts have a really good defense. We all know that. But still, Buffalo's the hottest offense in football right now. So definitely interesting to see there. Buffalo, Colts have a 51.5 over under. LA, Seattle is at 42, and Tampa Bay, Washington is at 44. Tampa Bay, the most favorited at -8. Seattle and LA closest at minus or +3. Seattle is the favorite today. So let's just get into it, guys. At quarterback, we have 6 options. So ownership is probably going to be very common. It's mostly going to be Josh Allen. It's pretty hard to go anywhere else. The other 2 options that I would consider today is Tom Brady against Washington, but it's still not my favorite because we've seen Tom Brady struggle against pretty good defenses this year. At the same time, they have a really, really, really good offense, and they have a lot of weapons that could easily turn this Washington defense upside down. But at the same time, Washington is 5-1 with Alex Smith at quarterback, and they're just playing really good. Just seeing of who's going to be in for Washington. McLaurin and Gibson are both questionable as far as I know. That offensively, I think everyone is healthy. So yeah, for quarterback options, if you want to get the cheap one-off play away from everyone else, Philip Rivers at 5,400. It's probably the only other quarterback that I would play besides Josh Allen and Tom Brady today. Russell Wilson against LA. It's just LA's got to really depend on their defense today, especially if Jared Goff's not in. That defense has to play really, really good to shut down Seattle. Seattle just hasn't looked the same recently either. So I'm staying away from Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, and then Alex Smith against Tampa Bay. I feel like he's a good value, but he's just not gonna light up the scoreboard fantasy point wise. Running back, obviously Jonathan Taylor is $2,000 more than any other running back on this slate, rightfully so. In the Colts are gonna have to run against Buffalo to try to pace Buffalo's offense. They're gonna try to keep Buffalo's defense on the field as much as they can and keep Buffalo's offense on the sideline. So that's gonna be the way the Colts are gonna attack this game. Long offensive drives, which means Jonathan Taylor, Hines, Wilkins are going to get a lot of volume today. They're going to have to throw sometimes, third downs, long, all that stuff, but I expect a lot of volume for the Colts running backs today. Not as much for the receivers, but if Buffalo starts lighting up the score, they score, 21 points in the first half. Colts haven't scored at least 2 touchdowns or 10 points, something like that. They're going to have to pass the ball a lot in the second half, and Jonathan Taylor's volume will decrease in the second half, and you look for Hines for the majority of those points. Chris Carson does not really spark my interest here, just because how banged up he's been, although the Rams are slightly worse in the rush game than the pass game, but I mean, it's slight. Their defense is still one of the best defenses in the league. Especially if right now, like I said earlier, they're going to have to play really good to win the game. But Chris Carson is just not an interest for how banged up he is. Antonio Gibson, I do like Antonio Gibson just a little, but not a whole lot. There's other value that I like. I'm either going to pay up for Jonathan Taylor, or I'm just going to get a lot of value at running back. The 2 value guys are right below Gibson, Ronald Jones and Cam Akers. Tampa Bay has a lot of options. Washington is going to try to stop Tom Brady's pass game. Tom Brady has Godwin, he has Antonio Brown, he has Gronk. I mean, he still has the young guys there too. And if Evans does play, he has Mike Evans. But even if Mike Evans plays, he's not going to be fully healthy. But he's a red zone threat and a big one at that. So Ronald Jones can take some of that pressure off of Brady. And if they can get something clicking in the run game, it's going to be scary for how good Tampa Bay is going to be in the playoffs. So Ronald Jones at 5,500, it's just for how committed. And Washington does have a really good run defense. I think they're top 10 in the league. Probably better than that, but I just like Ronald Jones to take some of that pressure off of that pass game for Tampa Bay. Cam Akers, if Jared Goff is out, I really like Cam Akers here. 42-point game total. So if you kind of put that in, you're looking at 21 points per team. So a low-scoring game. Neither team. It's a 3-point favorite, meaning LA or Seattle should be in the game the entire time, which means running, and Cam Akers runs a lot. And he looks really good too, especially if Andrew Whitworth is going to be in the game. Cam Akers, like, my likeness for him just goes up even that much more. I think J.D. McKissick is probably my favorite value of today. It is a big risk, but what I do like is Tampa Bay's pass defense against McLaurin. I think if Tampa Bay is smart, they're going to try to just shut down McLaurin. And that's all they're going to do. Logan Thomas is going to have to step up. And McKissick always gets those dump off. I mean, he's one of the most targeted receivers in the league, and he's a running back. I believe he's second in targets to Kamara for running backs this season. So I like him at 4,800. He gets you 4 receptions, gets you the 20, 30 projected yards he's got in the receiving game, plus get some rushing. You're looking at 11 or 12 points for a 4,800 running back. That's getting off of Cam Akers, Ronald Jones. If you want to pay up for Taylor, you can easily go Taylor, McKissick, and not spend that much money. So I like that. Anything else? I mean, Devin Singletary is a one-off. I don't trust Singletary or Moss. They just split so much. And that run game for Buffalo is just... it's nothing special. It's nothing that screams value. Leonard Fournette is a maybe, like a small maybe. But yeah, I'd go Jones, Akers, McKissick, Taylor. Those are my running backs. Wide receiver, you're just going to have to watch injury news leading up to every game. Luckily, the Colts-Buffalo game is at noon, and that has the most question marks. You're looking at Stephon Diggs, and you're looking at Cole Beasley. You're looking at two of the guys that can give you a lot more salary other places, or just split your value there. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is going to be the highest owned wide receiver. Chris Godwin is the one-off receiver that I do like today at 7,000 against Washington. Tyler Lockett I like a lot more than DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is going to get covered by Jalen Ramsey again, and rightfully so. You have to with how good DK Metcalf's been this year. So I look for Lockett for a little more value than Metcalf. I don't like either one, especially with some value down here. Mike Evans, if he plays, I don't like it. He could get a 2 reception, 2 touchdown game for 2 yards, but the 6,500 and how banged up he is, not a huge like. Terry McLaurin, if he plays, is a little bit of a like, but like I said, Tampa Bay should play around shutting down McLaurin. That should be their number one option, and let the other players for Washington's offense make plays. Because if McLaurin's making plays, it's going to be a rough day for that defense. Robert Woods, I like Robert Woods a little more than I do Cooper Kupp, but still neither one are a favorite, especially if Jared Goff is out. Neither one is a favorite there. Antonio Brown, if Mike Evans is 100% out, I do like Antonio Brown for a spend down option to Godwin and Diggs. I do recommend at least having one of those guys in the lineup, if not both. But if you can't afford it, if you put Taylor, Allen in your lineup, you're going to have to pay down somewhere. Antonio Brown at 6,100 is definitely one of those guys that I would pay down for. Cole Beasley, if he plays, that's a huge like for me. We all know that the Colts are going to try to stop Stephon Diggs. No one has figured that out yet this season, which makes Cole Beasley get open a lot more. If the Colts do somewhat stop Diggs, I'm not saying that they are, but if they limit him just a little bit, Cole Beasley is playing a backup corner and a slot at that, and Cole Beasley is one of the best slot receivers this year, so definitely at 5,300, he's one of my likes. If you're stacking the Colts-Buffalo game, I recommend getting T.Y. Hilton in there. Like I said, if it's a high-scoring game, Buffalo takes that lead, they're going to have to throw the ball. T.Y. Hilton, I mean, if we said this at the beginning of the season, it was terrible. T.Y. Hilton started off terrible in the beginning of the season, didn't look like what anyone would think, but then towards the end of the season, they started to connect a lot more, and he's going to have to play really good if Buffalo does put up a lot of points. John Brown right there, 4,700. If Cole Beasley, Diggs, 1 or 2 are out, John Brown is definitely the guy. If Cole Beasley is out, or Stephon Diggs, Davis is also going up there in likeness for me, as well as McKenzie, 3,300 there. I'd probably go Davis over McKenzie, but McKenzie just had a crazy good game, so anything is possible there. The other guy that I do want to talk about today for a receiver is Josh Reynolds. I think he is going to be my favorite value play at receiver. We all know what Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are capable of, but Josh Reynolds is going to get some sneak plays in there, just because that's what Seattle's going to try to do, is stop Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and rightfully so. They're two elite wide receivers in this league, which makes Josh Reynolds get more targets. Tight ends, Logan Thomas, the most expensive tight end, rightfully so. He's had a hell of a year this year. If you do have the salary, if you spend down on some of those wide receivers, or if you don't go Jonathan Taylor today, I recommend going Logan Thomas. Gronk at 3,900 is probably my favorite tight end on the slate, though. I'm not in it for the receptions and the yards. I'm in it for the 2-3 receptions, 30-yard game, and a touchdown. I just need him to get me around 10 points to let that other spending that I'm going to do elsewhere mean something. Tight end, there's not a lot of plays for me that I like. It's Logan Thomas, it's Gronk. You can go one off and go Higbee or Everett. I still don't recommend it. Or you could throw a Colt tight end in there for a tournament play, but for cash, I'm really only going Logan Thomas and Gronk. Defenses is funny about this slate is you can go any defense on the slate. You can go Colts defense at 2,200 against Buffalo. It doesn't mean it's a bad play at all. I mean, you're paying 2,200 for defense. You don't need them to do anything but get you 0 points. Like against Pittsburgh, they allow that much. I believe they had a game they allowed 45. Yeah, 45 against Tennessee. They got -3. If that happens, it hurts you. Yes, I understand. But if you're paying 2,200 for a defense, and you look at the sacks, you look at the fumbles, you look at the defensive touchdowns, 6 on the year, anything is possible. All these defenses are good in my opinion. You could play any one of them, and it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to, go crazy for you. Although I do, if you can pay up for that Bills defense against Phillip Rivers, we know Phillip Rivers is a turnover machine. It's a big like. Seattle against the Rams, if Jared Goff is out, becomes a big like. And of course, Washington against Tampa Bay with just how much pressure they put on quarterbacks. I mean, it is crazy. But yeah, you can go any defense, guys. So I hope this video does help anyone. Just getting some more insight on the 3-game slate today. Like I said, there will be a video out tomorrow. If you guys are interested in joining us for NFL or NBA, NFL's only got the playoffs left. NBA is fresh and just all season long. Head over to Astrodfs.com. We post daily articles for NBA. We won't have any for the weekend, but after that, we'll have the articles back every day. If you guys are interested in card breaks, we also do those. Our subscription, guys, it's very cheap for what you get back. Pay $10 a week, $30 a month, $120 for the NBA season. And the NFL is only $20 a month. You can go back. Just last night, this is 2 of our users. easily getting their money's worth for what they pay. You pay $10 and you get it back if you play double ups correctly. So it's definitely there. You can go and check our Twitter. All this stuff will be in the description down below. Our Discord, guys, that link will be in the description to where you can even just ask questions about how to play DFS, what contest to enter if you're interested. Like I said, guys, it's $10, very cheap, and the return value is crazy. We have over a 70% win percentage on the NBA, over 75 on the NFL season in cash games. So definitely, if you're looking for some help, we will help you. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. We'll see you in the next one.